This is Sergio Pineiro and Gregory Dorvil from Overtime Heroics. We are here today to discuss this upcoming main card this weekend for UFC on ABC2, headlined by Marvin Vettori and Kevin Holland. So we're just going to go through the main card. We've done the entire card before in the past, and that takes forever. Mm-hmm. So I think the main card would really is what we're going to focus on, try to keep it short and sweet and concise. There's some exciting cards or fights on this card. And I'm really looking forward to it. What's your thoughts on the card?
Yeah, I really like this card. People are saying that it's like a sleeper card or anything like that. But yeah, there's a lot of things to look forward to. Yusuf is going to be fighting Arnold Allen. Those are two killers. And you got to love Sam Alvey. He's always there to compete. Julian Marquez, he's the one that was doing that thing with Miley Cyrus, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, that's still in people's memory. So that'll be fun. And now, and we can go into it even further as we go along. But Nina Antara versus Mackenzie Dern, I'm looking forward to that, just because of how well Antara did against. The name blanking me.
Claudia Gadelha?
Yeah.
Yeah, Claudia Gadelha.
Oh no, it was another one. It was before her. Yeah, she was like they called her like the female Khabib. She did really well because she was able to tire her out, and then she was winning in the striking exchanges in the third round, but it wasn't enough.
Tatiana Suarez.
There we go. Tatiana Suarez. Yeah, so Mackenzie Dern is not a Tatiana Suarez, so I think it's going to be a little bit difficult for her to, I guess, either get a hold on her or to compete in the fighting exchanges if it gets to that. But we can talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah, I mean, there's some exciting fights. We're just going to do the 5, but man, there's some fun ones even on the prelims. You know, Jorgen De Castro, Scott Holtzman, Gamrot, Jim Miller, like the list goes on and on. Erin Blanchfield making her long-awaited UFC debut at 21. Impa Kasanganay, his return since the knockout. A lot of fun fights on the card. But we're going to kick things off with the first fight there on the main card. Mike Perry. I mean, whether you love the guy or hate the guy, he's probably one of the most exciting fighters on the roster, inside and outside of the octagon. He's fighting someone else who's equally as exciting, Daniel Rodriguez, who's been training a lot with Cowboy Cerrone. So your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, I mean, with Mike Perry, you know how he's going to go out. He's an all-around slugger. I don't know if he's going to wise up and play any differently than he always has against Daniel Rodriguez. I think Daniel Rodriguez is a little bit more well-rounded. And that seems to be the case with a lot of Mike Perry's opponents, at least comparatively to him. So yeah, I think it's like it'll be fun, but I think it's going to be one-sided.
So you think it's going to be one-sided, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think is going to take this, and how do you think?
Rodriguez, I can see him pulling off a submission. I think only Jeff Neal was able to put him down. I mean, Daniel Rodriguez could get the win by a knockout, but probably either submission or decision.
Yeah, it's a fun one, man. And at first I hated this fight because I like both guys. So when I like both guys, I hate the fight like instantly. I'm like, oh, this is stupid.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it's Daniel Rodriguez offers some fun stylistic matchup for Mike Perry. I mean, he fought Mickey Gall, and that was more of a tactical fight, tactical approach. I think this one's going to be one that, you know, it's going to bring out the best of Mike Perry. You know, he's going to start slugging it. Yeah. And what I like about Mike Perry is he went through that phase where he only wanted his girlfriend in his corner. You know, a team wasn't important to him. Yeah. Now he's over there, settled in an MMA Masters. And MMA Masters, I think, is very underrated. They've got some great guys there. Danny Chavez, one of them. Another one, Colby Covington. So when you work with guys like that at that level, I think Mike Perry's really going to come in. He's going to have a solid game plan. Daniel Rodriguez has looked unbelievable as well. I mean, in his debut, knocking out Tim Means, who just beat Mike Perry. MMA math doesn't usually work, though, so I'm ignoring that portion of it. Daniel Rodriguez has been training with Cowboy Cerrone, too, so some very good teams here for both guys. But the one fight that stood out to me was with Daniel Rodriguez was the one against Dwight Grant. You know, that was another slugger who came to fight, and he got tagged in that fight.
Yeah.
He got hurt, came back, and ultimately won the fight. But I think if he gets tagged by Mike Perry, it's completely different.
Yeah.
So that being said, I do think Daniel Rodriguez has the tools to win it. I'm going to have Daniel Rodriguez via decision.
Mm-hmm.
But if Mike Perry comes out there and knocks his head off, I wouldn't be surprised either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know whether to bet on him or not, but yeah, I don't know. He's been a little shaky lately, but I'll stick with my decision victory for Rodriguez as well.
Yeah, and that leads us into this next fight. You talked about it a little bit at the beginning. I'm really excited for this one. I mean, Mackenzie Dern getting her step up in competition against Nina Nunes now. She officially by Nina Nunes. That is what's on her UFC bio. So Nina Nunes. Which is hard to say. But Nina Nunes versus Mackenzie Dern. How do you have that one going?
All right. So Mackenzie Dern is riding a hot streak right now. So she's gonna to give it to her, and she's really cleaned up her stand up and I think her entries into her grappling. So it's interesting how Ansarov is going to Nunes is going to is going to answer for that. I think it will be a challenge for her if she doesn't have a plan to engage with the grappling like she did with Suarez. If she does, I think it'll be a little bit easier and it'll just be left to striking. Ansarov was able to get her hits in with Suarez only because Suarez gassed herself out. We haven't seen Mackenzie Dern gas out yet. We've only seen her we've only seen her just fail with the grappling exchanges and just lead to, I guess, wide open shots like she did with ABC Cooper. And even though one of those landed, and I think it was one with, I think when she got her first loss, she was just stuck with the striking exchanges. So I think it will, this fight we'll have to see the answer questions answered. Will Nina Ansarov answer the grappling exchanges wisely, and will Mackenzie Dern be able to strike competently with Nunes?
Yeah, it's interesting because, like you said, I mean they're both very good, and I think, like you said, it really just kind of depends on where it goes, right? Like if this goes to the ground, this is Mackenzie Dern's wheelhouse.
Yeah,
her striking's improved drastically, tremendously. She looks great, but Nina Nunes, her striking, I think, is significantly better. So it's going to really kind of depend on where this goes. As for Mackenzie Dern, her takedown offense has really been struggling in the UFC. She hasn't been able to get a whole lot of fights to the ground. And we've seen in the past, even when it's like Amanda Ribas, if the fight stays on the feet, she has a much harder time. So it's going to be interesting. And the one thing that really makes this fight compelling is that layoff, right? Nina went and had a baby. She was pregnant, so all this other stuff. How is her body going to adapt? How and I'm trying not to. I mean, I have no idea. Like, I don't know how this stuff works. Like, let's be honest. She could come out and be the best version of Nina Nunes we've ever seen, but that has to play a factor. Whether it's negative or positive, I'm not sure. We'll find out. But keeping that in mind, I do think Mackenzie Dern has the tools to win it. But Nina Ansarov has octagon experience. I mean, she's fought much tougher opposition throughout her career. She has wins over Claudia Gadelha. She fought a very tough Tatiana Suarez to a decision. So she's hard to put away. That being said, I think it goes to decision, and I don't know which one's going to win. I think this is one that's a toss-up. I'm not putting any money on this fight because one decision. And you never know with judges these days how it's going to be scored. So if you twisted my arm and you forced me to do it, I'd probably go with Nina just based on experience.
Okay. Yeah, I've yet to see like a strong grappling base from Nunes. So I think I would go for a decision as well, but I would eke it towards Dern's direction.
I love it. We went opposite directions. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now we're gonna jump into the middleweight fight between Sam Alvey, who's been struggling, but like yet still looks good. Like it makes no sense. He's losing fights, but he looks all right.
Exactly. Always
Versus
smiling.
Julian Marquez, who had that ridiculously long layoff and then that come from behind victory. He's stepping up on short notice. He's stepping in for a teammate, Zach Cummings, who had to get back surgery. And yeah, he's stepping in and fighting Sam Alvey. How do you have this one going?
I think Julian Marquez will have this one. I mean, if the short notice isn't as bad as you might think, because he just came off a finish win and he looks really good in it, especially I guess considering how he was able to call out Miley Cyrus like that. So I think Julian Marquez will give it to him. I don't know about Sam Alvey's defenses and everything else. He was able to get everything towards the decision, but with Julian Marquez, I think he might pull the win. It's just a matter of how.
Yeah, I mean Sam Alvey is as tough as they come. I mean, his last two fights, I thought he beat Ryan Spann. I had him winning that fight, and then Dong Jung, that was another very very close fight. The guy is ridiculously tough, ridiculously durable. Julian Marquez, I think if the fight, I don't know how to put this, but I think if it goes to decision, I think Sam Alvey might have it. I think he has the tools to get it done. I think he's overall got, better experience, more experience. He's got the better fight IQ. I think Julian Marquez, like we saw in his last fight, he has the ability to just turn the fight around at any point in time. Yeah. And Sam Alvey has been finished by guys like Jimmy Crute and Nogueira. So I think if it goes to decision, Sam Alvey, and I've talked to Sam Alvey, which is why I'm kind of leaning towards him. Like I know him. So I'm going to have Sam Alvey via decision, but I think a lot of people are going to have Julian Marquez by finish, and that doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, with the Sam Alvey, I was really surprised how well he stood up against Spann. I think Spann is kind of like straightforward. He rarely mixes it up, and when he does, it's I don't think it's as comparable to other people in the division and in the top 15. With Marquez, I think he's more likely to mix it up a little bit better, especially since he's not the strongest and he's not a power striker, not a knockout artist. So he might and probably will mix it up. So I'll have Marquez winning it by knockout or submission. I'll go with decision for this one.
I like it. And then we're that co-main event. I hate this fight because they're both up-and-coming prospects. I like them both. And I hate seeing prospects being matched up against one another. But stylistically, it's a fantastic fight. Arnold Allen, who's got some huge wins, Nick Lentz and why am I blanking on Gilbert Melendez, huge wins on his resume. Obviously, guys who have kind of been there, done that, experienced veterans. This is probably his toughest test in a little while. In Sodiq Yusuff. Sodiq Yusuff looks like an absolute killer. Yeah. So yeah, who do you have winning this one?
Ooh, boy. Just judging from the wins alone, Sadiq has been improving tremendously, and he has a nasty power. And I think he'll be durable if he's going to be doing striking exchanges with Allen. Yeah, Allen is pretty. I think he has a really good gas tank, and I think that'll be his main advantage against Yusuff, because Yusuff really attacks early. Now, seeing what they do on the feet, I think it could be either or. All I know is that he had Allen had a submission win way back. I think it was in the United Kingdom. I think, it was Thompson and Till. So yeah, I think he'll probably want to mix it up a little bit so he doesn't fight Yusuff on the feet. And and we can see how it goes. Will Sadiq Yusuf keep his cardio up? Will Allen be able to, I guess, stay in the storm, so to speak?
Yeah, I think Arnold Allen has more like an overall better base, like all around. He's better. I think he's got great wrestling as well. He can keep this on the feet or on the ground. It depends. Like it doesn't really matter to him where it goes. I think he's good on the feet. I think Yusuf has the advantage. He obviously has the advantage when it comes to power. And I know this stuff is completely irrelevant, but last year, people from Georgia were practically undefeated on the year. This year, it looks like it's Africa's year, right? Like you look at guys like Francis Ngannou, Dalcha Longiambula, Kennedy Nchukwu, they're all winning.
Yeah.
You know, they're all winning. So whether or not that plays a factor in the fight doesn't. I don't know. I'm just saying. You know, if that stuff matters to you, Sadiq Yusuf's winning this fight. But right. I do think Arnold Allen has the overall better tool set, especially on the ground and stuff as well. Yeah. So I think if he fights smart and I think he can get this to the ground, mix things up like you said, get things against the cage, get things on the ground. I think that will wear out Sadiq Yusuf. I don't think either one of the guys gets a finish, but I do think that Arnold Allen will win a decision.
Yeah, I can see that. I think for Sadiq Yusuf, I think he has to pick his shots really carefully. Yeah, this is a really tough one. Yeah, I want to say Allen because he might take it to a decision, but I'll say Yusuf second round TKO.
Oh wow, that's bold. That is very bold. I like it. I like it, and that leads us into this main event. Change of opponents. It was originally supposed to be Darren Tillo versus Marvin Vettori, which is a fight that I still want to see no matter how this one goes. I love that fight. They obviously don't like each other. They've been bickering on Twitter and Instagram. But Kevin Holland, everyone wants a piece of Kevin Holland right now. He had that fight, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, where he lost to Derek Brunson, and now he's back in another main event, stepping up on short notice, facing Marvin Vettori. Your thoughts when you heard that he was the one stepping in?
I really loved it. I mean, and it's not surprising. I mean, Kevin Holland is like the clutch master at this point. I mean, he's well known for this, and he wants to stay busy while other people are, I guess, waiting on the sidelines. No one knows what Paul Acosta is doing. He was supposed to face Whitaker, but he got changed up to face Kevin Gastelum, and I'm looking forward to that. So, yeah, Kevin Holland's keeping his name out there. And of all places to do it, on ABC, can you imagine the press is going the press when they hear Kevin Holland just flapping at the gums? Man, I don't know if ABC is ready for that.
Yeah, I wonder if the UFC spoke to him on that. Like, hey, dial it down a bit. You're on ABC. Whisper it. Don't scream it. Just whisper it in his ear. You know,
yeah.
You're gonna insult him. Just do a little whisper. But also, Khabib's probably not going to be in the corner, so he can't he can't look at Khabib for advice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good one, man. It's a good one. I love this fight.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. For Vittori, he's really cleaned up his striking, and much more than Kevin Holland has. I think Holland didn't have to because he kind of, I guess, improvises everything he does. I think that's coming from his kung fu background. But I think with Vittori, oh man, if Kevin Holland has, and I highly doubt it, that he's improved his takedown defense in the allotted time that it took to accept this fight. If he doesn't like wisely prevent the takedowns, Vittori is going to take this, I think. And he has much cleaner striking, and he's more willing to, I guess, stay in the pocket and try to knock you out. So Holland better be careful. Otherwise, I think Vittori will take it.
Yeah, I mean, you brought up a good point. That wrestling did not look great against Derek Brunson. Vittori is not the wrestler Derek Brunson is by any means, but he does have good wrestling. I mean, he held down what's his name?
Adesanya?
No, the other guy, the guy he just fought, Jack
Hermanson.
He held him down and didn't get submitted. Like no one does that to Jack Hermanson, right? So I think that says a lot about him, about what he can do on the ground. He's never been finished. So Kevin Holland is known for these like moments of just glory, right? The Jacare, the Buckley fight, like, but before those knockouts, the fight was relatively even. Like it wasn't like he was running away with things or he was dominating Jacare. So I don't know if he's going to be able to have that moment of glory. He looked good against Derek Brunson. He hurt him a little bit, but I don't see him running away with a guy like Marvin Vettori. He's so tough. He went to a split with Israel Adesanya. I mean, the guy is as tough as they come in that middleweight division. So I have Vettori winning it. I don't think he finishes Holland. I think it's just another 5-round decision. And I think it's going to be very similar to that Brunson fight. As soon as Vettori finds out I can get this fight to the ground and just hold him here, I think that's what he's going to do.
Yeah. And to as an addendum to your point about Vittori's toughness, he took Adesanya's best shots and just kept coming. He took Jack Hermanson's best shots and just kept coming. And he had like these quick 1, 2, 3 combinations. Yeah, it's going to be tough. So I think if he doesn't do anything, I think Vittori's going to win this.
Yeah, I have it the exact same way. So there you have it. There are our picks for this weekend. Is there one fight on the entire card that stands out to you that you think like this one is the one that I want to watch the most? If you could only watch one fight.
Oof. Dang. All right. Let me take a look at this card. Oh man. And I think before I saw Dern, I think it was something on the prelims. It was something that slipped the mind. Maybe not. Man, yeah, this is a tough one. I guess from the main card, for strategic reasons, I would like to see how Nunes and Dern do, just to see if Antara improved her takedown defense, and if Dern can do something with the striking. It's strategically compelling.
Yeah, I like that one. I'm going to go with a fight that probably not a lot of people are talking about, but Sasha Palatnikov and Impa Kasanganay. I think it's going to be interesting to see how Impa responds to that knockout loss. And for Sasha Palatnikov, it's going to be interesting to see what he does after that huge come-from-behind win over Louis Kosi. I think it's very interesting. Impa Kasanganay is coming down in weight class, and I like both guys. I think they're both really nice, and I can't wait to watch that fight.
Yeah, it looks fun.
All right, well there you have it. There are our fight picks, and man, maybe we should do this more often. Maybe for every couple cards.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love doing all this stuff. Yeah, especially looking at other fights. I mean, Bellator's really stepping their game up, especially with the Pitbull win, and also with the upcoming fight with Bader and Machida. It looks like it's going to be their second fight, which I didn't know. So yeah, it's a good time to be an MMA fan.
Yeah, lots of great fights. We had that one at one FC last night too. Man, it's been there's fights every weekend, lots of fights every weekend, and I can't wait for this weekend, like always. So we'll see you guys next time.